What's up, guys? I'm bringing you a video about the Nexus 5 and Android 4.4 KitKat, so let's get right into it. Now, you've probably already seen pictures of the Nexus 5, and where it was originally leaked was actually by Google itself on accident. And what you've probably seen is this screenshot of a Google employee at the Android 4.4 launch event when they announced their partnership with KitKat. And you can clearly see that this Google employee, clear as day, holding up a Nexus 5, and it's definitely not a Nexus 4. Just holding a Nexus 5, taking pictures of things, and it's completely obvious what it is. And so Google kind of dropped the ball on keeping it a secret in that regard. So with that said, we're just going to jump into the stats and the specs of what we know about the Nexus 5, because things are leaking like crazy. So first off, it's going to have a 5-inch screen, hence the name Nexus 5, and it's going to be an HD screen, full HD, with 441 pixels per inch, which is crazy dense. If you look at what the Nexus 4 had, that was like 320, I believe. So there's going to be a definite step up in the screen quality. Now, the processor is going to be a Snapdragon 800, which is crazy fast, and I won't go through the specs of that, but just know that it's like 2.3 gigahertz or something like that, I think. And this processor is going to have 2 gigs of RAM to utilize in the Nexus 5, which is crazy. Now, the camera, the Nexus 4's camera was 8 megapixels, and it wasn't that great, and it looks like the camera in the Nexus 5 might have some improved optics, but otherwise it's going to have the same 8 megapixel sensor, and the front camera might actually be lower quality than the Nexus 4's was. That said, they're putting some more expensive parts into it, so they have to maybe cut back in some regards, and maybe most developers that have this phone aren't necessarily concerned about pictures. The Nexus 4 is going to have a 16, 32, and 64 gigabyte models as opposed to 8 and 16 in the Nexus 4, and I don't think that that's going to make the phone any more expensive. I think that the way they're building things, memory is becoming more cheap to buy and put in a phone, so I think that it's going to not make the phone more expensive, and I'm hoping that the Nexus 4 stays, Nexus 5 stays at the same price point. Finally, they're going to put LTE in this phone. All last year, people griped about the Nexus 4 and how it only had HSPA plus support, just regular 4G. Now it's going to have true 4G LTE in this device, which is going to be awesome. But for some people, you're going to be disappointed because it still won't work with Verizon because of Verizon's different bands that they use in terms of their LTE coverage. The Nexus 5 is going to be very, very similar overall as a whole to the LG G2. That said, though, the LG G2 has a bigger battery than what is probably going to be in the Nexus 5, and that worries me because the battery life might be questionable because of all the features like the nice screen and the fast processor and things like that. It might need more battery life than Google's going to put in there for the price. Also, the LG G2 has a 13 megapixel camera instead of an 8, but other than that, many things are similar between the two phones. Now, released on the same day is probably going to be Android KitKat. They usually release a phone and the next iteration of Android on the same day. So this one is 4.4 KitKat, and that's the next one down the line that they've made so far. And in terms of features, not a lot of things have been leaked, but one thing is a new app launcher. Instead of the black background when you pull up your apps, it's supposedly going to be transparent and you can see your home screen behind it. Also, with the new processor, they're probably going to be adding an always listening function, kind of like the Moto X, whenever you would say, "Okay, Google now," and your phone's always listening for that command. So they're probably going to add something like that to the Nexus 5 with the new processor. Now, in terms of release date, there's really no good way to determine a release date because every website is reporting something different. And I kind of compiled a general consensus as to what it will probably be between, and I got anywhere from October 28th to November 1st. So look somewhere in that range. And as we get closer, there'll probably be a final date when Google will announce the event so that people can come to it. But as of right now, somewhere in that range is when it will probably happen. Thanks for watching, guys. If you have any questions, hit me up in the comments below. Follow me on Twitter and tweet me if you have any questions. I'd love to hear what you guys think about the Nexus 5 and whether or not you'll be getting one. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next one.